Hello guys, Daniel from Dan's Tech. In today's video guys, I'm going to be bringing you a review of the MSI GTX 1060. This is the Gaming X variant. Now I have this already on my test rig. I have actually been testing this card and I can say it's very quiet. It is quite a large card in terms of like height. The fans are quite large fans. But it's, yeah, from my initial testing, a brilliant card, and it's not actually that more expensive than the other cards. Well, the other 1060s. It is a 6 gig variant, so you do have a lot of VRAM there. So if you are wanting to play at, say, higher resolutions like 1440p, that is very possible. So without further ado, we're going to get into the review. Going to go over what you get in the box really quick. I can't stand unboxings on YouTube, so I'm going to do that very quick. Go over an overview of the card, see what this card has compared to the competitors. Yeah, we're going to go over the benchmarks, and then finally mention the power pull, the noise levels, and what else I'll go over? Oh yeah, the frequency and like fan speed and shit. So yeah, we'll get into that, and yeah, I'll say if I recommend the card or not near the end. So without further ado, let's get in with it. Let's get on with it. Yes. To get started, that's for a very quick overview what you get in the box. On top you find a box containing the product leaflet as well as other documentation. You of course do also get the GPU in an anti-static bag. And overall it is packaged very well. Now onto the card, the dimensions are 277mm by 140mm. As for the thickness, the card is a dual slot design with a custom backplate adding a little bit more thickness. The total thickness is 39mm in total. Now as for the custom colour strapped to the card, this card features two large fans which blow air through the aluminium heatsink. The shroud for this card is made of plastic and, being honest, looks a great design. I'm quite a fan of the cooling solution and the amount of copper heat pipes contributing towards the cooling. Taking the colour away from the board, you can see the card features many thick copper heat pipes that contact the GPU chip for efficient heat dissipation. I also quite like that MSI are still including a metal VRM and VRAM front plate to aid cooling of many components around the GPU core, and as for the LEDs, the top of the card features a lit MSI logo in white, and the front features many aggressive red lines around the second fan. I'll be sure to get back to the cooling performance and report on the noise levels of this card near the end of the review. As for the power requirement of the card, there's a single 8-pin connector on top. MSI recommend a minimum of a 400 watt power supply, making this card very efficient, rated at 120 watts. I'll include power pull figures near the end. As mentioned in my other GTX 1060 reviews, Nvidia have decided, unfortunately, that their 1060s are not to support multi-GPU, unlike the RX 480 from AMD. Now, as for some further specs on this particular card, the card features 1280 CUDA cores clocked at 1594 MHz with a boost of 1809 MHz, however it is much higher from my testing. The card also features 6GB of GDDR5 memory sat on a 192-bit memory bus, and as for the outputs, this card features 3 DisplayPort outputs in addition to a HDMI version 2 and a dual-link DVI-D port. As always, I'm going to be doing some live benchmarking with the card. This is going to be on my standard test rig with an i7-4790K clocked at 4.2 GHz and 16 gigs of memory. If you want to see the raw 10 minutes of each game played, do feel free to check out the second channel I maintain here on YouTube that will be listed in the good old description. First up, we have many titles at 1440p at rather high or ultra settings. Battlefield 4 at 1440p with the ultra preset. The card outputs an average of 79.9 FPS. As for Battlefield Hardline Ultra, we see slightly lower average frame rates at 69.6 FPS. Moving on to Dying Light, at high settings we see 77.9 FPS, and as for another title, Killing Floor 2, we see 72.8 FPS at Ultra. Very good frame rates there. Now as for a relatively recent title for PC, Need for Speed 2016, or simply Need for Speed, at high settings, with the more demanding AA setting enabled, we have 62.6 FPS, and lastly for Medal of Honor Warfighter at Ultra, we see our highest figure yet, 89.6 FPS, although an older game. Now as for a couple of benchmarks I performed at 1080p, Battlefield 4 high settings 143 FPS, Need for Speed 2016 high settings 105 FPS, and changing the settings on Need for Speed 2016 to Ultra/Max settings we have 80 frames per second. Killing Floor 2 at Ultra/Max settings 125 FPS, and GTA 5 high settings 103 FPS, GTA 5 Ultra settings 68 FPS, and then for the Valley benchmark at the Extreme HD preset 66 frames per second. Moving on to the power draw, the card, together with all the other components in the system, including an i7 and 16 gigs of memory, an SSD and a mechanical hard drive, the system pulled a maximum of 235 watts with a 80 plus gold certified power supply. Needed to mention that there. Now, as of the temperatures, the card hit a maximum of 66 degrees throughout all of my testing, while staying incredibly quiet with a fan speed of 38%. That's around 900 RPM, 3 figures there, very impressive. Now, as for the clock speeds, the card hit a maximum sustained speed of 1911 MHz, with this boosting a little bit higher sometimes when you do just get into the games. And as for temperatures, yeah, these can be as low as 62 degrees, just depending on what games you are playing. Do note that this 1060 will only enable the fans when temperatures exceed 60 degrees and will disable them when temperatures drop below 56 degrees. Before I conclude, take a listen to this card, and I do also have many other cards here just to compare that I've recently checked out. Some of these are GTX 1060s from Palette and also Zotac. So peeps, my final thoughts on this 1060 from MSI. I'm going to say it's bloody brilliant. I've been playing many games with this card. It's really quiet, and the performance you get from this thing is genius. It's a really good card. I'm not too sure on the red LEDs. I don't know why they couldn't just be like sprayed red, but LEDs is the thing these days, isn't it? I mean, we'll have we will have soon LED thermal compound. I mean, Thermaltake at CES, they've got like LED power supplies. Really? Most cases have power supply covers. I don't know. I'm waiting for LED thermal compound and LED cables. It's like LED power cables, 6-pin inside, all them cables. Man, there's so many cables for PCs, isn't there? So yeah, just to conclude on this card, a bit sidetracked though with LEDs. It is a good card, relatively quiet, very well performing, and I recommend it. So that's about it. You will find a link in the description for this card on Amazon, and then also a link to MSI's website, as always, to show you guys have specs, photographs, and stuff like that. So thanks for watching, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.